EU leaders hope confront Hungarian leader Viktor Orbán and make good on promises to find another €50 billion for Ukraine despite his threat veto extra funds during a tough summit. There is no plan B. There is plan B and we can go to Z if necessary, one diplomat said, expressing the EU's determination to ensure that Orbán's threats do not prevent Ukraine from taking much-needed security measures, financial and military aid to fight Russian occupation forces. Orbán also threatened to block the start of formal negotiations on Ukraine's EU membership. A double blow that the Ukrainian foreign minister said would have devastating consequences for Kiev. Diplomats on Wednesday expressed concern that Orbán's tough talk on EU enlargement was attracting interest from strategic companies. We may see a new group of countries have a different perspective on Ukraine's candidate status than last year, one diplomat said. And that group obviously consists of Slovenia, Slovakia, Austria and very strongly Italy. They say there is no money for Ukraine as long as there is no money for citizens. This is quite new, they said. Italian sources say Meloni did not impose such conditions on funds destined for Ukraine. Hungary and EU leaders have been at loggerheads for the past few weeks, with Orbán repeatedly threatening to use his veto power to halt key decisions at a key summit of EU leaders in Brussels. This week, Orbán reiterated his opposition to neighboring Ukraine's offer of rapid accession at summit, saying it would not serve the interests of Hungary or 27-member EU. The problem is we don't know his game, one diplomat said. Classic Orbán with very tough positions and then agreement? Poland's new Prime Minister and former European Council President, Donald Tusk, struck a soothing tone when he arrived in Brussels, warning that indifference towards Ukraine is unacceptable but describing Orbán as pragmatic and a colleague. Some said this was a small price to pay for Hungary's support. Others said the Commission's decision was unfortunate timing but was not about horse trading. Hungary is accused of blackmailing the EU into unblocking more than €20 billion in funds. EU leaders will be hoping that the European Commission's decision on Wednesday evening to unblock €10.2 billion of €31 billion of withholding funds will help soften the Hungarian leaders' position. One diplomat said we are not paying the price for political decisions. Sources say European Commission has no choice but to release money within next 10 days. According to rules, as 3-month investigation window into Hungary's reforms ends next week. These funds are not locked, a source said. The funds are clear and were always there for Hungary to receive. However, they decided not seek payment themselves as they failed to meet the milestones set meet EU standards on the rule of law. Some EU leaders harbor some hope that it will be classic Orbán who will attend the summit.